around it, man. I think it's been long enough into Overwatch 2's life cycle to where I think it's time to talk about the matchmaking. And I know Blizzard briefly addressed this issue in the patch notes from not too long ago. However, I really don't feel like they've done anything to the matchmaking, and I know they said that we'd feel the changes more in Season 2, so we'll have to see what these changes do, but for the most part, I think there are just core issues with the matchmaking that need to be addressed. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the extremely confusing competitive UI, and that is the 7 win and 20 loss model that we're going off of with competitive in this game, which just is probably the most confusing model for competitive ever in anything, really, and it just makes no sense. This leads to extreme confusion of what your rank truly is, as unless you are keeping track of your record and you know how much your SR is affected by wins and losses, then you are basically in the dark until you hit that 7th win or that 20th loss. This is the core of many issues that, branch out into other issues with matchmaking that lead me to be confused a lot. So that's obviously the first issue, is the UI. The main issue, however, is the matchmaking itself. There have been countless times where I have been queued with people who I should not technically be able to play with. Now, I understand if there's an occasional game where there's somebody who's out of the bracket I should be able to play against, but it happens consistently. Like I said, I understand if there's the occasional game to prevent extremely long queue times, that's fine. But when it's happening every other game, just for the sake of, extremely fast queue times, I guess, it makes no sense. Especially when the competitive brackets themselves say that you can only play against certain players. You know what? Let's just go ahead and look at that right now to show you what I'm talking about. So, if we look here at the tier legend, we can see Master can only group with Diamond and GM players, and really only certain GM players. GM 1s and 2s are exempt from playing with Masters at all, at least they should be. However, that happens all the time. This isn't just like a sort of issue. I mean, hell, there's a clip of Sumito being in a game with a gold player. A high GM lobby with a gold DPS makes no sense at all. That should never happen, but it does. But this issue is actually genuinely terrible for the game, because what this does is when you have people in lobbies they shouldn't be in, and it's not their fault, by the way, this leads to steamroll heavy games where the winning team just completely blows out the losing team because the losing team just cannot compete when they're basically playing a 4v5 because they have somebody who's playing at a rank that they just shouldn't be playing at. They don't have the same skill set, they don't have the ability to compete with other people who have probably wasted a lot more time on this game. And this isn't only happening to me. Like I stated, Sumito has had this issue with having a gold player in his high GM lobby, but I got other people who are like either in Master, having Plat players in their lobbies, or vice versa. I've had people tell me that there are Plat players who've had Master players in their lobbies. It makes no sense at all as to why this is happening, and it just makes the game unfun. On top of the fact that there are occasional matches where there are people who should not be playing against each other, I'm also noticing these patterns where I go on either really huge win or really huge loss streaks, and it really takes the fun out of both. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy going on a win streak. I'm not going to be like, oh no, not a win streak. But I know what's coming right after. I know I'm just going to get terrible matchmaking for the next 10 games, as it's just what happens. It's the pattern. But the issue with this is that it really just kind of removes the purpose of a rank system. It really makes it feel like my rank doesn't even matter, and it's honestly caused me to not really care about my rank. It just kind of removes all of the purpose of a rank system if you're not even going to be placed based on your rank. You're not going to be playing games based on your rank. It's more about some hidden MMR value that we can't see, and what the hell is the point of that in competitive? It just removes the purpose of having a rank if it doesn't even dictate what your skill actually is. Now, I've stated this many times on my stream. I talk about this all the time. The solution is already there. We already have the solution. I mean, chess has been doing this. Dictate your skill based on your rank. You know, ELO reflects people's skill level. Shouldn't your SR dictate your skill level as well? Why don't we just match people purely based on their SR? That way you can get the best lobbies, because over time, when your skill rating is adjusted, it accurately depicts your skill level. And that way you get into lobbies that actually make sense, and you're playing against people your skill level, and when you get better, you'll know because you'll see your rank go up. It makes no sense why we have this arbitrary MMR little hidden number dictating our brackets and our matches, because it takes the whole meaning of comp away. It takes just any purpose of going for a rank and just throws it out the window. So I don't know why there's hidden MMR and ranked. And like I said, I understand it for quick play. Loose skill-based matchmaking for some quick play is totally fine in order for people to not have terrible steamroll matches where it's just a random shit show. But it's quick play, so no one really cares anyway. Yeah, I don't understand this MMR bullcrap. I really don't. It just kind of ruins the fun for me, because it just, like, what rank am I, you know? It may say I'm high GM right now, but who knows, maybe I'm in some low-ass skill bracket that boosted me to this rank. I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely don't. The game, like, it makes it impossible for me to tell if my rank matters. But yeah, just basically turn this game's ranked into chess and we're fine. That's all I got. Let me know if you guys are having as miserable of a matchmaking experience as me. As always, I'm gonna go fuck myself. You guys enjoy. Peace.